Welcome to that Eddy show. Huh? As Dori looks at me quite strangely. No, you didn't hear incorrect. You may not have you may think, oh, did I hear it right over the music? Welcome to that Eddy show.
Eddy? Better?
Do you want to know the joke? Do you want to know the joke? Let me tell you the joke. I think it's funny.
Eddie Murphy.
On, podcast producers, we do a lot of stuff ourselves. So we love using AI to help us with certain things we do on the show. And the AI that I use to help me on the show do like silly little things. It thinks the name of the show is That Eddy Show and thinks I'm Eddy. So whenever it writes, Eddy and Dori have a conversation about an 80s movie in the transcript.
That is your new name for me from
Eddy.
now on.
I am Eddy. Ooh.
I'm changing your name in my phone as we speak.
Well, you had your name changed in cousin Louie's phone.
I did.
Last week. You are now Dori 5 is alive. You're moving way more freely this week, I see.
I'm unzombified.
Well done. You are free of many a burden. And I got sent a story a lot of times, as I'm sure you did. Thank you to everyone who did send this. You can always get in touch with us on that Eddy Show Facebook page. That Eddy Show SA Facebook page. Again, we're going to do it again. Voting is still open for the African Podcast and Voiceover Association Awards. And haven't been drinking yet, I promise. And we are in the running to defend our best music podcast title, right? Only you and the judges, but only you and the judges that I'm being very nice to, but you are the most important person in that process if you love the show.
The one who we're pointing at.
Exactly.
You, not the one behind you.
If you think we're talking about you, we are. And if you think, oh, you're surely not talking about me, we are. Mm-hmm. Okay, so only you can make us win, basically. Well, 30%. But vote for us. The link is in the show notes right now. Look where they are underneath that Eddy Show. And vote for us in the music category. Music. While you're there, I also produce a sports podcast, Working Title FC. Vote for that finalist. And another one called Curse of the Creative. An entrepreneurship podcast for radio professionals.
Yo.
Yes, radio and podcast.
Who's entrepreneuring now?
Exactly. It's not all, selling. Let's just move on before we get into trouble. I got sent this article quite a few times because people know that the place to go for George Michael news is that Eddy Show. Mm-hmm. And 40-year anniversary of Careless Whisper.
I also got sent it a few times. People know us.
People know us so well.
Do. Yeah.
And so Careless Whisper, 40 years, they're releasing a special LP. It's an EP. Sorry, EP. What is the difference? LP is... What? I don't know the difference.
An LP usually has more tracks and an EP usually has fewer tracks.
So LP...
But I don't know if that's an actual hard and fast rule.
That's what I think, because LP is long play, EP is play. Like
Eddy play.
Eddy play. So Careless Whisper is now available on Eddy play.
Extended play, exclusive play.
But it goes contrary.
Elephant play.
Should we Google that? What does... Look at us, so quaint using Google. So retro.
Using Google.
So retro. Extended play, you're right. It's a musical recording that contains more tracks than a single, but fewer than an album or LP.
So it's the medium.
So it's a single. So it's extended.
The Goldilocks.
It's extended of the single, but not as extended as the long.
It's not too short, not too long, just right, like Goldilocks.
Just enough George. Mm-hmm. So you get just enough George Michael. It's what it includes, because it includes more. It's only Careless Whisper. Okay, and variations therefore of Careless Whisper.
Okay.
It includes a previously unreleased live recording from New York City's Madison Square Garden in 2008. The EP is a heartfelt thank you from us to you for your unwavering support and love. We are truly grateful. Thank you. That is from George Michael Entertainment. So we will look for that in the stores. Probably won't come to us. Even like the George Michael coin was released officially.
Yes.
I did not get my place in the queue to get one. Now,
do you know anyone who is traveling over the seas who can perhaps get this EP for you?
what would I play it on? I do have a vinyl player, but
You do.
this vinyl player I don't think is of the requisite standard to play a 40-year anniversary EP. George Michael's extended play disc. That was wrong. I shouldn't have done that.
That was very wrong.
But now, George Michael, we know, notoriously careless with the whispers. His sister, late sister, has been careless with her inheritance. Yeah, true story. True story. George Michael's late sister, Melanie. Now remember, he left his entire fortune to his sister. His £98 million fortune to his sister.
That is a lot of money. I didn't realize it was that big. All to his sister, okay?
Okay.
All right.
To his sister. And she passed away. How weird is this? Also on Christmas Day.
No.
I remember reading the story. She also, like George Michael, passed away on Christmas Day 2016. She passed away Christmas Day 2019. So he had left her his massive fortune, 98 million. After they've wrapped up the estate, now she passed away 2019. This is 5 years. That's a lot of money. You got to account for anything. Wrapped up.
Are his parents not still around? Or a parent? I think his dad?
Maybe it could. Look, he left the bulk of his estate. So it's not even the 98. There's more.
Okay.
So she got the bulk of it.
Yeah.
She's left with only 6.2 million after her affairs were settled.
What?
Yeah.
How?
Now the estate has been left to his other sister, Yoda. Now 60.
Did the first sister not have kids?
It doesn't say.
Okay.
So George Michael's sister who passed away, diabetic ketoacidosis. Probably a cousin, ketoacidosis. They were Greek Cypriots.
I was wondering, is that the condition or the name?
I'm allowed to make you those jokes. I'm Portuguese.
You are.
Okay? No Mediterranean hate up in here. So what did she do with her money? George Michael coins.
You think?
How do you burn through, I mean, it's not judge 92 million pounds in 3 years? What are you doing?
Did the law executives steal it? The lawyers, the estate people?
There's got to be taxes that she wasn't prepared for.
Definitely taxes.
It's got to be taxes. It's got to be taxes. I mean, that is unreal. And this is legit story from Yahoo News. The Evening Standard. It's the Evening Standard. I mean, how do you burn through that much money? Or else it's all hidden. It's put in trusts and she's invested in property and she's made sure. So it's either the taxman took everything or she went, no, taxman, we are hiding stuff.
That sounds more likely, actually.
That sounds more likely because no family of George, even the cousin Ketio Canidis, no one is going to get.
Because you got to imagine that Andrew got something, right?
Oh, Andrew, of course. Andrew still rolls, literally Scrooge McDucks it into the money every day. Andrew. He definitely does. Lubes himself up, Scrooge McDuck into the coins.
Wow, what an image.
That's what he's doing. Dori,
he's never going to be on the show when you talk like that.
No, but I'm like not saying anything disparaging. I'm just saying, I'm just relating. I got rickrolled this morning.
So did I.
Oh, let's compare.
Wait a minute.
Let's compare. Did you get rickrolled on Twitter?
Not on Facebook.
Ooh, okay. Now, if you don't know, listen, you should know listening to the show what rickrolling is. But basically, it's you click on a link about something else, and then the video for Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley plays. Okay? Well, I did not. You see, Dori and I, it shows you how little prep we do for the show. You tell me your rickrolling story
It's
first.
really not that fascinating. It's just funny that we both experienced the same thing.
That is good. That's why we are that Eddy show. You know?
Weird.
Yeah.
So there's this rather amusing Facebook group called See More ... Which if there's a long Facebook post, it has like a thing that says See More ... which is the automatic thing, and then you click on that and you see the rest. So this group is like a pranking group where you put the See More ... but it doesn't click, it doesn't do anything, and you like prank people. And then people post on the group how they've pranked other people, right? So somebody posted their Seymour prank and was like, this is working really well. Check out the comments. I go onto the thing. There's a comment that looks weird and interesting.
Sus, yeah.
I click it, and it's a rickroll. Someone rickrolled on the Seymour.
How happy were you?
I actually was.
I was like,
I was like, I'm so excited I got rickrolled.
Like, that's amazing. You could do that on WhatsApp, because when you send a really long WhatsApp, it says read more.
Exactly.
And you rickroll somebody. That's a good one. We should do that.
We should.
You know how I got rickrolled?
Tell me.
Piracy.
Oh, no.
Now I'm a pirate. This is what happens. Scrolling through Twitter, X this morning, and then somebody posts, okay, damn it, I'm going to post it. Here's the full new Deadpool movie. Watch it while you can. Trade.
No.
I click on play. Brilliant. I was like, okay, this is a bit of a cheat, but let's see how much I can watch. Rickrolled after the opening credits.
You were expecting Ryan Reynolds and possibly a Wham reference, and you get Rick Astley. I mean, you didn't really lose that bad.
No, I mean, either I was going to get a Deadpool movie or I got rickrolled. I'm pretty sure Ryan Reynolds did it. Maybe I need to go back, and maybe it was Ryan Reynolds who did rickrolled me. So fascinating. Double rickroll, unrelated rickrolls.
Weird.
When will rickrolling...
Synchronized rickrolls.
When will it ever stop?
Who cares about synchronized swimming at the Olympics? We have synchronized rickrolls.
It's such a stupid concept. It makes me laugh. Synchronized rickrolling.
We are the champions of that sport.
Just have people in a room just sitting by a computer and just like... we got rickrolled. How many? 0.3 seconds. Brilliant. Bravo, hurrah.
You get the gold medal.
Hoorah. But listen, I I shouldn't actually be surprised that such a thing has happened, because I have been involved in a little bit of subterfuge myself lately.
You've teased this week with me, and now I get to hear the story.
And it is subterfuge that you could be exposed to if you want. But here's what happens, right? So when Thomas Anders coming to South Africa, we're going to see him in concert, very excited. We go back and we repost our fantastic interview with him. Go check it out yourself. It's in our feed, that 80 Show SA meets Thomas Anders. Fantastic. Watch it on YouTube. He's so handsome.
Yes.
He's so handsome. And his gold records, big flex. Sits between his gold records, flex. Good
I mean,
for
if
him.
I had gold records, I would do the same.
Totally. Yeah. I've got an EP. This is not even my album. It's not even my songs. And I'll show it to people.
Okay. So it is an album we're talking about.
A byproduct is that we get a lot of new followers. Thomas Anders got a huge following. Huge following.
Yeah.
Predominantly women who were teenagers in the 80s and they've enjoyed how he's aged.
Indeed we have.
You know? So it's a lot of like a very specific type of fan from all over Europe predominantly. Turkey, Hungary, Spain, like all over Italy. What there also is a lot of fake Thomas Anders accounts, probably to entrap these same women. This is my suspicion, right?
What are they doing with them?
Because
if they're entrapping them.
If you're an online fraudster, who is most likely to fall into online fraud? Women from their 50s onwards. So do you think
that they're like getting money out of these people? What do you think that
there's something nefarious?
The scam is?
There's something nefarious afoot, because if you go look at that 80 Show SA Facebook page, we are followed by the real Thomas Anders.
Yes.
By the way.
Yes.
It is not him. It definitely is people, but that's the official. We're followed by the official page.
Yes.
We're also followed by a shitload of other Thomas Anders. Okay, a lot. Even one calls himself by Thomas Anders' real name. You know what Thomas Anders' real name is?
I do not.
Oh, Dori. Cousin Louis told me. Of course he would. He's got a modern talking song named after him. Thomas Anders' real name this is even the one that I made a joke out of, Bernd Weidung. That's Thomas Anders' real name. That's not selling.
Hang on, is that the surname? First name? What?
Bernd Weidung. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's his...
So where did he get Thomas Anders from?
Stage name. Well, it sounds like international.
I thought Anders sounded German enough.
Exactly.
And Thomas could be a German name.
Yeah.
Thomas,
yeah. So I never thought into it, but
yeah.
Listen, actually, let's just take a moment.
Yeah.
Your mind on that 80 Show could have been blown, because this could be the first time oh my God, Thomas Anders' real name is Bernd Weidung. Right? So Bernd Weidung follows us. This is how nefarious I think these people are.
Yes.
Because that's a very niche inside thing. So there's a lot of Thomas Anders following us. All of them proclaim to be the legit one. They're not legit.
Yeah.
So there is one, Thomas Anders, to prove to me that he's real Thomas Anders. No profile picture, just an authentic blue tick. That's the profile picture.
Does he think that you're a middle-aged white woman?
Thinks I'm Eddy.
Oh, right. Okay.
Now, this is messaging the show,
Okay.
not me personally.
All right.
Messaging the show. Okay? I get this message. Hello, fans. Have seen a quite handful of your comment on my post uploaded on my business page. So I decided to create a more private page to appreciate those people whose comments and good wishes encourages me. And I hope to bring you guys more. Thanks a lot. I felt so honored. That's not a misread. And blessed to have an amazing fans like you. So the theory goes, don't be suspicious. It's really me.
Yes.
But I just want to take this private.
Yes.
So I'm like, show content, I'm biting. Hi, thanks for contacting us. We've received your message and appreciate you getting in touch. Oh, that's not me. That's an automated thing.
I was thinking
Sorry.
that sounds a bit robotic.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'd never answer. But thumbs up that.
Yes.
This Thomas Anders thumbs up that.
Oh, so he didn't realize it wasn't automatic.
He replies to that. I know you must be so amazed and sucked to get a text from me. I assume psyched could be sucked.
How is it spelled?
Sucked.
Okay.
I know you don't have your glasses. No point showing you.
No.
But it is sucked. Trust me, it is me.
Something the real person would say.
Of course. Of course. I am so down to earth, and I believe you know too well. Not T-O-W, too well. T-O-L.
Right.
Oh, Dori, your pedantry would be in overload reading these messages. You just wouldn't get past
That's
the
why
first
you're
typo.
reading them to me.
Seeing your profile, you remind me of an old friend that I care for so much. Now, our profile picture
It's a palm tree.
It's a palm tree. It's our cover art. Dori and I don't post photos of ourselves, right? So this person is looking this profile photo they speak of. My response, that's great to hear. So this goes quiet for a day. I'm like, no, I need this person back. How are you today? Thanks so much for your morale push. It has been your prayers and support that has kept me at my best. May the good Lord bless and guide you. For how long have you been my fans? Double question mark.
Okay. And you said 1 million years. No, what did you say?
Since the 80s, when we saw you perform at Sun City in South Africa. I've not got absurd yet.
Yeah.
And I need your advice on what to do next. Because you're going to see what happens next. Because what I'm trying to do here is I want Thomas Anders to ask me for money. Because this is where this whole thing is going.
I mean, I'm sure it is one way or the other.
Send me money. It is really me. That's what I want. That's the message.
I have a special signed photograph for your bedside table.
Yes, exactly.
Send me money and I will send it to you.
Exactly. So I've said since the 80s when we saw you performing. That is nice and good to hear. What's your name and where are you chatting from? Fan.
Ooh. Getting personal.
My name is Eddy from South Africa.
You didn't.
Looky.
Oh my God, you literally did.
I know you must be amazed and sucked to get a text from me. Again, leading into how sucked I am by getting a text. Could be sucked, could be sucked.
Yeah.
Both work.
Indeed.
Both work. Trust me, it is from me and I am so down to earth. Again.
Yeah.
But here's where I backed off.
Okay.
I've not responded for 2 days.
Why?
Seeing your profile, you remind me of an old friend that I care for so much. But it's so sad I lost her because of cancer for about 8 years ago. She really meant a lot to me. So now I'm going,
Oh, what is this leading to?
We got two things here. Either this is a scammer now really leaning in, or this is just a really sad person who's dealing with some stuff. What kind of person am I? I think we know the answer.
Yeah, not the person. Okay, not the right person. Hold on. If it is a scam, he could be leaning towards, I want to start a fund for cancer survivors. Something like that, maybe. You know,
So what should we
as a fan for so many years, please will you be one of my initial sponsors? I think you
That's
can
good
go back and
thinking.
say, sorry to hear that.
Yes.
And see what happens then. I
Okay.
don't know what else to say after that.
Hello, Thomas / Bernd.
Really?
Yeah.
I know it is really you.
Apologies for my silence.
Yes.
I do not want to disappoint you.
You are not really writing that.
I do not want to disappoint. I do not want to display you. Okay, that's fine.
I mean, their English isn't so great either.
I am sorry to hear about your friend. How can I help?
No, you're not.
Yes.
Oh,
Sent.
I think it's... okay, let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens now.
Oh my God, I can't wait for like the installment next week where you update us.
Next week we will update you on my conversation with Thomas
With
Anders.
the not real Thomas Anders.
Dory is sucked to hear what happens next.
I'm so sucked.
Hope
My
you all are
goodness.
sucked. That is why we are.
The #1 music podcast in Africa.
Because we catfishes. Double catfishes. There was a lot of slang going on in the 80s. Remember last week found an article about 80 songs that was in no way written by a narc mom
Of course not.
trying to
Yeah.
get her kid to admit taking drugs. In a very similar website written by a very similar type of person, there's now a breakdown of the weird and wonderful stories behind some of your favorite 80s idioms and 80s slang. Okay?
on the same website.
Similar website. You know how you get these
Okay.
clone websites that they're kind of like all the same? It's one of those. What slang did we have? South Africa, we had Kif. Kif was big.
Yeah. Gnarly was very American.
Gnarly's in here. They'll
Okay.
explain how Gnarly came about. I've just gone blank on slang in South Africa.
I mean,
Zap it in the
dude.
zibi. There wasn't a slang. There was a
There
pap
was an actual ad
Okay.
campaign.
Did you ever hear this one? Gag me with a spoon.
I've heard it.
It was like a Valley Girl. It said very much a Valley Girl phrase. Gag me with a spoon. I think it said like that. Gag me with a spoon. It means I'm disgusted. I wouldn't think that.
Okay. Gag me. I mean, gag. So what? You stick a spoon down your throat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gagging with a spoon is a Valley Girl phrase used to indicate disgust, as being gagged with a spoon definitely sounds unpleasant. The idiom gained broader recognition through avant-garde rock of Frank Zappa's 1982 hit Valley Girl, which featured his teen daughter Moon doing her very best Val Girl speak. Gag me with a spoon. Okay, another one. There was a lot of surf stuff, totally tubular.
Yes. Yes.
The word tubular, which means having the form or consisting of a tube, was first
Funny
used
that.
in 1673. But then,
1673.
yeah. But over 300 years later, the word took on a whole new meaning. Surfers obviously started using it because they were referring to,
The
the
tube,
ideal
yes.
tube.
Yes.
And then, of course, surfing was popular in California. Valley girls were there. They heard it. And something that's totally tubular isn't tube-shaped. Rather, it's just a creative way to express approval.
Didn't last very long, that one, though.
Not really. Not as long as Totally Gnarly. That's another one also going through.
Yeah.
Made popular by Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yep.
Yep. That's where it kind of went into the mainstream by, what was Sean
Sean
Penn's
Penn.
character?
Spicoli.
Spicoli. He used the word. And it has its slang roots in surf culture again as well. Things that were naughty and rugged, and surfers claimed the word to describe dangerous waves. Take a chill pill. Huge one.
Ah, that was big. Why do I remember that more from the 90s? Probably went into the 90s.
Probably went through. I mean, this thing's been around since the 19th century, which the 80s was in. So the 80s idiom isn't about pills and rather uses chill in the modern sense. It's rooted in describing things as cool. The phrase take a chill pill is basically someone to be cool or relax. Some people have also claimed that the phrase was related to medication for ADHD that was gaining popularity around the time. No, that's
I mean, it might have been.
no, it was never.
Okay.
Couch potato also popped up for the first time in 1976. According to the New Yorker, a man named Tom Iacchino called his friend Robert Armstrong and asked, "Hey, is the couch potato there?" when Armstrong's girlfriend picked up. That is so detailed.
Is that the first time it was used?
Who documented that? They both sat there going, "Holy shit, that's something. We got something there."
I would have thought, what are you talking about if that wasn't a phrase in usage?
Rather than get offended and hang up the phone in a huff, Armstrong got Iacchino's permission to trademark the phrase, and it took off from there. They published the official Couch Potato Handbook, a comical guide to the lazy lifestyle. Soon enough, there were even couch potato toys. Okay, so that makes sense.
They got rich over that.
They got rich. Shit, we say stuff all the time.
Why didn't we do this?
We could make so many books. Look at the book. There's even people dressed as potatoes.
Huh.
Shit, Dori, we always saying stuff. Damn it.
Okay, I'll keep in mind what we say.
Bodacious also popped up in the 80s again in surfboard. It's a portmanteau of the words bold and audacious. So bodacious.
I never knew that.
It makes sense. Totally. But yeah. While the 80s usage typically refers to female attractiveness, the word initially meant remarkable and noteworthy. And of course, it became super, super popular after Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure in 1989.
Bodacious.
Basically every second word.
Yes.
What's your damage?
Yeah.
Do you know that that's from the movie The Heathers?
That's where I know it from. I was like, this is very familiar. I don't know why.
Never used before or since. Never used before. They came up with that for the movie.
The original. Don't watch the remake.
Don't do the remake. Shannon Doherty, rest in peace.
Yes, indeed.
She was very ill for a long time. And that is slang and slang phrases from the 1980s explained.
Thank you, Professor.
That's good.
Professor Eddy.
I think the thing that upsets me the most is how many things we say, and I don't notice money around us for saying the things we say. And we say...
We're doing something wrong.
We say funny shit all the time. Well, no, we hear other people say funny shit and then we repeat it. That's what I do.
You do say funny shit, though. Especially you.
I got duped again. Oh, it's just getting duped all the time.
Again?
Ooh, I've put dupe karma out in the world because I'm duping Thomas Anders, the real Thomas Anders. He knows we're fans. So sucked. And I got duped another time because what I wanted to do is there is like all the Comic-Cons now and they're releasing all the movies that are coming up, all the new movies. And what I want to do is talk to you about the 80s related movies that we're going to be looking out for. Obviously, we watched the new Beverly Hills Cop, right? That remake. There's the Beetlejuice, the sequel.
I watched the trailer.
Okay.
Looks pretty good.
Looks pretty good. We'll be keeping an eye out for that one. When it does pop up, one of us will recommend it, I'm sure. So what's out right now is Time Bandits, a remake.
I saw that they were doing that.
Oh, my word, Dori.
Yeah.
So the original Time Bandits made in 1981, Terry Gilliam, totally absurd.
Crazy movie.
The story about a kid, he goes through a door in his cupboard, and then he goes around with a group of thieves around time who can travel through time.
So nuts.
So it's been remade by Taika Waititi.
Oh, then it'll be great.
And Jermaine Clement.
Oh. So,
I mean, you can't go wrong with the two of them.
It's a New Zealand production.
Exactly. I don't think it's totally New Zealand, but they're both involved. And then Lucy Kudrow, Phoebe from Friends.
Okay.
She's the leader of the Time Bandits.
Oh, I thought you were going to say she's the mom. Because that's what she plays these days, is the mom.
No, so from the trailers, I haven't started watching it. It is on Apple TV.
Okay.
I haven't started watching, but it's definitely, I'm getting into it.
Is it a movie or a series?
Series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It looks hilarious. Looks so good. And it's kind of got that, I mean, all of Terry Gilliam's movies were totally absurd, as was Time Bandits.
Yeah.
Tell me something. The song, the band Time Bandits.
No.
Not related.
Not related.
Just question. I don't.
I know.
I think it was. I don't think it was, but
yeah.
So anyway, that's 80s related property that we need to look out for. Something else. I did not know about this. There is a new Naked Gun coming out.
No.
Yeah.
With who?
So Akiva Schaffer. Do you know him? He's from the Lonely Island.
Yes.
So he makes funny stuff.
He does.
He's that group of guys got a really good sense of humor. And it's also written by Seth MacFarlane, and it's going to star Liam Neeson.
Ugh, okay.
And Pamela Anderson has just joined the cast as well as Busta Rhymes. So, but I didn't know about this. So there's a new Naked Gun coming out in a year's time. So they must be quite far down
Wow.
Yeah, quite far down. So New Naked.
Barely remember the originals.
Love them.
Yeah, I mean, the parts I remember were hilarious.
Love them.
I bet you they're totally cancelable today, though.
That's the thing about Naked Gun. So I think just because of who's involved with it, they're quite smart to be able to get away with things. Because how can you make a Naked Gun or a Hot Shots or something like that today?
Yeah, I know.
You know, you're really like limiting what you can do. This one irritates me because I don't know what's going on anymore. We've spoken about it before. There's a new Karate Kid coming. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, it's got nothing to do. So basically, in the Karate Kid lore, you've got the Karate Kids with Ralph Macchio.
Yes.
Then you have the Karate Kid with the female Karate Kid.
Right.
That doesn't count in the Karate Kid story, even though Mr. Miyagi trained her. Then you got the Karate Kid with Will Smith produced with Jackie Chan. Okay?
Yeah.
Where they didn't do karate, they did kung fu.
Okay.
Okay? So that's not part of it.
Wasn't that Kung Fu Panda?
It could be.
I don't know.
It's Minions, but it's not.
Okay.
So you're going in the Karate Kid story, you got the Karate Kid movies with Ralph Macchio.
Right.
Then we've got Cobra Kai.
Yes.
Oh my God. So the new first half of the new season's out.
I see that that's happened. But I gave up on it a long time ago.
I put it on and I've been watching it. And so they're releasing it in 2 bits.
Okay.
Oh my God, I'm so glad it's over.
Really? Why are you torturing yourself?
Because you have to. I have to. I'm in it. I'm in the universe now.
I literally got out of it. It wasn't that hard.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah. Tell me.
I think it's like, what are we on? Season 6 now or something?
I gave up on season 3.
All the same. It's the same shit constantly. It's all the same.
Netflix, what are you doing? You cancel some of the greatest shows and then you carry on a show like that.
Constant.
Forever.
But you know why? Because there are thousands upon thousands of people like me just going, this is terrible, but I have to watch it.
So they're just like, oh, well, there's views, so let's keep going.
So they keep doing.
It's your fault. I blame you.
Now, there's a Karate Kid movie that picks up at the end of the last Karate Kid, but disregards everything that's happened in Cobra Kai. Even though Ralph Macchio's in it, but Jackie Chan's in it, who was in the Kung Fu Karate Kid that they don't count. What is going on, Dori?
I don't know. That's all too confusing for me.
Because you spent years, like people like me, now watching Cobra Kai. Okay, maybe there'll be a big payoff. So I even said a K-off, a big karate off. There will be a big karate off. And then they cancel it. So I don't know what's going on. Anyway, the point of the segment was talking about 80s properties.
Indeed.
So that's Karate Kid. And I'll watch it. And I'll get upset. And I'll go, how is Ralph Macchio passing himself off as maybe in early 50s?
Is he wearing a toupee again?
I think he's gone full implants now.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
I think he's gone the full hairpiece. Yeah. There's a new Tron coming out.
That could go either way.
Everyone knows I live my life by the guiding principles of Tron. Be blue, ride a bike.
Okay.
Now, watching this movie may depend on your opinion towards Jared Leto.
I don't have a problem with him.
Love him. People hate on Jared Leto. I don't know what's the point. Why?
He's too pretty to hate on. Come on, people.
He is too pretty.
He's way too pretty.
People say no, he does weird stuff, and then there's been allegations of things. But I'm just going. People just hate on Jared Leto.
Did you watch the band when they came out? Yeah, his band.
30 Seconds to Mars.
Yeah,
I didn't. I
I
don't like
did.
the music.
I do.
But it's not about the music. I get what you're saying.
No. I like the music as well, but it was good.
He's good. The man's an
good.
artist. The man's an artist. Hate on him. Gillian Anderson's also in it, and then of course Jeff Bridges is now in his third Tron. That'll be his third Tron.
The man keeps going.
It's kind of like if you're going to give birth to a Transformer, you go into your third Tronmester. Which brings us to another movie based on the 80s property, Transformers 1, which is an animated movie that goes back to right in the beginning of Optimus Prime and Megatron in Transformers School. And now they're chums. And then it tells the story they used to be friends, and now are they enemies? They're frenemies. So that's animated.
I'm not a big Transformers person.
Chris Hemsworth is the voice of Optimus Prime, because obviously we need a new voice of Optimus Prime. And so that is that. And then here's where I got tricked.
I'm listening.
So I'm looking into this and I see, hold on a second, there's going to be a remake of Crocodile Dundee. Right?
Right.
I get the trailer. Dundee, the son of a legend, returns home. Huh? What is this?
Yeah.
Click play. Danny McBride. You know who he is.
I know the name.
Eastbound and Down. Kenny Powers. He's in all those like movies with like Seth Rogen.
Yes.
He's got the curly hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one got No, not him.
He hasn't been cancelled. He's very good at dodging being cancelled. Okay. So that is Danny McBride. He is now the son of Crocodile Dundee, which makes sense because when Crocodile Dundee went to America, it probably would have been some relationship happened there.
Big knife in many places.
That's what they're going to say.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you took that one. Good.
Yes.
Good. Then I watched the trailer. I'm like, holy shit. Now, obviously, they returned to Australia. There's a lot of very famous Australian actors and actresses. Suddenly pops up Chris Hemsworth, Russell Crowe, Isla Fisher, Liam Hemsworth, Hugh Jackman, Margot Robbie, and Ruby Rose. And I'm like, this looks... You know, sometimes you find fake fan-made trailers.
Yeah.
No, this looks like bullshit because they've basically just gone and taken all these... How did they make this movie so quietly?
Yeah.
Those are stellar.
Basically all the Australian stars.
Yeah. Only missing Nicole Kidman. I'm like, that is stellar Australian stars, mate.
So what, is it fake?
It's fake, Dori. It's a friggin' Tourism Australia ad. It's an ad for Tourism Australia.
I'm kind of keen to watch it though.
I know. It's good. Listen, I'm going to put it that 80 Show SA Facebook page. 3 minutes.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's quite funny.
Okay.
I'd watch the shit out of that movie. What we do every week on that 80 Show is we watch movies, about the 80s, or listen to podcasts about the 80s, or remember TV shows from the 80s.
Indeed.
And Dori has a podcast for us that is 80s adjacent.
It is indeed 80s adjacent. I'm going to just pull up my notes.
Could I call it 80s adjacent Donovan?
Oh my God.
No?
That was so terrible.
You loved it.
I did love it.
You know who'd love it? Thomas Sanders. I'll ask him if he likes my joke.
Have you heard of a techno club in Germany called Berghain?
Oh my God. Whoa, Dori. You can't just... I really hope you're going to go into the detail of this because you can't just throw that club out there because that club has everything. That club is like the Olympics opening ceremony. That's what that club is.
From
like.
what I've heard, indeed it is.
Are you going to talk about the man? Okay, I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this podcast. What? Okay, sorry. Okay, go. You, me. I'll shut up. You go.
Okay, so there is a podcast that I enjoy listening to called Search Engine. I think I've mentioned it before on the show.
About the rats. That's the one I always remember is why there's so many chicken bones in New York City because the rats are eating.
Exactly. So they ended off the season of Search Engine with a two-parter called Why Didn't Chris and Dan Get into Berghain? So Chris and Dan, being the host's friends,
Right.
they had heard about this legendary club in Germany that was very, very difficult to get into. They went to Germany.
It's in Berlin.
In Berlin, indeed.
Yeah.
They went there and they tried and they failed. And then they were like, but why? What did we do wrong? So PJ, the host of the podcast, went into, why is it so hard to get into this club? What is the deal with this club? And the reason I'm talking about it on this show is that in the second part of this podcast, they go into the history of techno music in Germany, which of course starts in the 80s.
Oh my God.
And I didn't think I would be interested in it. And it was fascinating.
It is
really fascinating.
I'm so excited for what you potentially could tell me. I can't wait to listen. I will stop my own podcast to listen to this podcast.
I do recommend it. So like I said, it's a two-parter. The first part is primarily about these guys' story, what they did, how long they stood in the queue. Because the queue, you will stand in the queue for 7-8 hours and you may or may not get in after standing in that queue. Sounds like voting around here as well. Anyway, you stand in the queue for very, very, very long. And these parties, they start on like the Friday and they go till like the Monday.
And it's lock-in.
Yeah.
Once you're in, you're not getting out till they...
Yeah.
So not only can't you get in, they decide when you get out.
And apparently it's extreme. Like they cover your phone camera.
I think they take your phone.
No, apparently they put a sticker over it.
Okay.
And if you are seen trying to use your phone, you get thrown out immediately.
Right.
It's very strict, very, very strict, very, very private. There's obviously some sort of oath of like silence that you have to take because nobody really knows what goes on there. They do have a legendary bouncer named Sven. Is this what you were excited to talk about?
No, there is something else I'm excited
Something
to
else? Okay, they have a
Something
legendary
else.
bouncer called Sven who's also a photographer, artist.
All right.
They went into quite a bit of him. But like I say, for me, the most interesting part was in the second episode where they went back and they start speaking about the roots of techno music, obviously starting in Detroit, but then how it morphed into what it was in Europe.
Amazing.
How the music is different, what it means differently in the different countries. It's a very academic, interesting story. And yeah, I just recommend it. I don't want to give too much away.
Then you're going to hate me for dragging it literally.
Oh, you're going to drag it into the gutter. It's all right. Let's go. Let's
literally.
go into the gutter.
So, okay, that's fantastic. Listen, the Bergheim, it is notorious. It's like...
I had never heard of it before this podcast.
Oh, no. I was introduced... I first heard of it on a podcast, two guys, soccer-type podcast, but they keep bringing it up and talking about it, right?
Okay.
And then,
have they managed to get it?
So, a friend of theirs got it, right?
Right.
So, they're in the UK, and they keep making reference and making jokes about it. And then, of course, you get interested. So you read about it. Then they were compelled. They say, you know what? It's like we do like the strange side of sports and soccer, but people keep asking us about this club. So they did a once-off special episode about the club and told all the stories. Tell about Sven, his background, whatever.
Yeah.
But the comment they keep making and they keep referencing back is about the piss goblin.
Okay, I don't know this. This didn't come up on my podcast.
Okay, the piss goblin of Bergheim, the real person, I've double-checked it, is a man who hangs around the toilets. Now, you must understand this place is S&M Club. I mean, this is not like a live sex act, people having sex, drugs.
Yes. No, it
There's
is,
like, once you're in there, it's
and that
everything.
is why most people don't get in, because they suss out whether
you're into it.
Whether you're there to watch or partake. And they don't let a lot of foreigners in. A lot of foreigners try to get in, but it's mostly German people who are just, they just take that kind of stuff in their stride. They get in much more easily than Americans who are there to like gape and gawk. Yeah, exactly.
So it's one of those clubs. Every drug is, when you're in there, do what you need to do.
Indeed.
So there is a guy, and the rumor is that he's a bookkeeper or an accountant, works like a very straight-laced job, and he's the piss goblin of Bergheim, and he lets people pee on him in the toilet. You can go in the toilet, there's urinals, and then there's him.
He just stays in the toilet all the time?
To be peed on by people.
Okay.
That's the piss goblin of Bergheim.
All right.
It's fascinating.
Interesting. Didn't know about that.
Yeah.
I mean, chances are these guys who made the podcast found out about it, but then decided not to include that or edited it out of the podcast. Like a normal person would.
Is that what you're telling me to do?
I'm telling you, just,
45 minutes in, I'll make the decision.
You make the decision.
Let me make the editorial decision. Are we going to be the piss goblin? Are we going to be the guys who left it in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you find it interesting though?
It is interesting.
Did you find that interesting?
Not as interesting as the history of techno music in Europe.
Okay, so maybe we cut that. Maybe you won't hear this. Who knows? Maybe I'll just cut in a weird place, and we'll say, "Well, to cut that out. What do you guys cut out? Oh, Patreon. Listen on the Patreon.
Okay,
Get on that.
I see your plan.
Okay, great, Dori. So excited. I'm listening to that. On my way home, I'm listening to that. Fantastic.
Cool.
Great recommendation. I got a movie recommendation for you. I told you that I watched The Brats, the documentary about the Brat Pack.
Still haven't done it.
And there are so many movies that get mentioned in there.
Yes.
So I said, okay, I'm going to watch them. This is my second one. I said there were three. I can't remember what the third one was. So anyway, we move on. Stars Matt Dillon.
Yeah.
Stars Diane Lane.
Okay.
Stars Nicolas Cage.
Okay.
Stars Mickey Rourke. Directed by Francis Ford Coppola. The movie is called Rumblefish.
I remember it vaguely. The name's familiar.
So it's a double header. Francis Ford Coppola did it. Rumblefish and The Outsiders, both based on novels written by the same person. And Francis Ford Coppola was doing The Outsiders, and he started filming and writing and making Rumblefish at the same time as The Outsiders. Shot in the same place, Tulsa, and even used Matt Dillon and Diane Lane. And he used pretty much the same crew. He just went from one to the next, and there was like a 2-week break between. And where The Outsiders was kind of like a Brat Pack adjacent movie, very teenish, but very much in that kind of like teeny pop way, Rumblefish is shot in black and white, using a whole bunch of really interesting cinematographic tricks. Okay, even things like today that we take so for granted weren't being done on American cinema then.
Yeah.
Like the way he'd changing different points of view, the way he'd do like super extreme close-ups on people. Even there's one scene in a pool bar where he like puts a point of view on the pool ball as it's being played. Like no one was doing stuff like that, right?
So it's an arty-farty movie.
Very arty, but mainstream arty-farty.
Right.
Kind of people saying, Francis Ford Coppola never got that right where he knew how to make money, but he knew how to make films.
Yeah.
You know? So the story goes is that Matt Dillon runs a gang because his brother, called the Motorcycle Kid, that's the name, has left town. So he's running the gang in the meantime. So there's a bit of a gang war going on. And he's in his gang is Nicolas Cage, but Nicolas Cage sees a power vacuum and wants to take over the gang until Mickey Rourke, Motorcycle Kid, comes back into town. I hope I'm saying the name right. I think he was called the Motorcycle Kid. Let me just make sure.
I don't think I've seen this movie. I've definitely heard of it, but I actually don't think I've watched it.
The Motorcycle Boy. The Motorcycle Boy.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's the story about these two brothers. Their dad, played by Dennis friggin' Hopper.
Oh my God. How have I not seen this movie?
Is an alcoholic. They say Dennis Hopper was definitely on everything.
He was.
During this movie.
Yes.
And they say it's a very convincing portrayal of an alcoholic because he was.
Yeah.
Fantastic movie. Youngsters. There's this amazing scene where Matt Dillon gets beaten to death and he dies and his body leaves his soul leaves his body and watches everything.
Spoiler alert. Thanks.
No, he comes back to life. This is it's early on.
Wow.
It's Dori. You got to watch this movie.
I'm gonna. Damn it! It sounds amazing.
Fantastic art house movie, Rumblefish, based on the fact that everything's in black and white. Do you know why? Because Mickey Rourke's character's colorblind, so he's seeing the whole world through his eyes, and the only color is when they go to a pet shop, and they see actual Rumblefish. So Rumblefish's story is these fish, when they see the reflection, they'll fight with it until they kill themselves. The only thing in color are the Rumblefish's tails. Beautiful, poetic, lovely. When you watch it, you see so many. You can see Quentin Tarantino is hugely inspired by this movie. You can see Fight Club, so many elements of Fight Club inspired by this movie. It's just like, wow.
Okay.
Fantastic movie. Francis Ford Coppola. He got Stuart Copeland from The Police, who was the drummer.
Yes.
He did the score. And they did the score live to certain scenes.
Huh.
So he'd be playing, and they would just follow on from that. Like, so it just ridiculously, like a movie like that doesn't go that mainstream. Look, none of those actors were anybody at that stage.
Yeah, and black and white movies are just too arty for generally
way too
most
arty.
people.
And Francis Ford Coppola, he's coming off the back of The Godfathers. He's coming off the back of Apocalypse Now. He wasn't like making his name. He was the name.
Yeah.
His daughter Sophia Ford Coppola's in it. She plays a youngster. Diane Lane, beautiful. Oh my word. Still. Great movie. Rumblefish.
Wow.
Got to check that out.
I think we knocked it out of the park today.
I really think we did.
Between the two of us.
I really think we did.
Yeah.
I really think no one can take the piss out of our movies this week. If you may. So we'll put up the trailer for the movie and maybe some details about the Bergheim, that 80 show essay on Facebook. Now, we often talk about movies and TV shows that haven't aged well, and will they be cancelled?
Yes.
We never talk about children's books.
Ooh.
So I got something I found on Screen Rant talking about 80s and 90s children books that are quite problematic. So let's start off here. I won't read all of them. I'll just go to the prominent ones. The Indian in the Cupboard.
Oh God!
There you go. Straight.
Say no more.
Say no more.
Say no more.
A young boy finds.
Love that movie though.
Well, okay. I don't remember. I do remember the book in school. It was published in 1980. Been super popular for kids for decades. Story of imagination and whimsy, but of course, he has a tiny plastic Iroquois Indian who now comes to life.
Yeah.
And it's problematic because obviously, this little plastic toy idolizes him like a god. So it's like, the white man, but problematic. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Really?
Now, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory has been as a story, but this one in particular, because I didn't know this, but in the original publication of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Oompa Loompas were described as small African men who Willy Wonka discovered and brought back to his factory to serve as his workers.
That does ring a bell, yes.
Yes. And then over the years they changed it to Oompa Loompas, but people still well know it's very slavish and and changing the color of the skin, and it's still very minstrel-ish in their kind of depiction and not great. And then of course fat shaming and abuse of the children. It's quite frankly abuse.
There's a lot of problems in the movie, but we love it. I mean, with the book, but we love it. It's Roald Dahl.
This one surprised me, Where the Wild Things Are.
Huh.
People love Where the Wild Things Are. This in particular, because of the punishments to the main character, the boy Max is sent to bed with no dinner, and this is no longer considered an acceptable punishment. Nah, that's
I mean,
that's a bit soft. I'm sorry.
as a Gen Xer, I'm like,
I'm not having that one.
I mean, they're not going to die.
Yeah, it's just stopping a little shit.
I mean, as parents, we can say this is fine.
No, but parents wouldn't send. I mean, like, you ideally don't want your kid to go to bed without dinner, and it's not like a commonplace thing.
Yeah,
but it's like some of the nights when
that's like the controversy of the book.
That's what people are saying. I mean, I can get Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yes,
I can understand it, but no. They also got a problem with the Giving Tree.
Oh, I know. I've heard about this problem.
Oh, what have you heard?
Well, I mean, from what I've heard that book it's something about it's teaching kids that you have to sacrifice yourself
someone else
or something like that. That it's not good to literally kill yourself for someone else, basically.
Okay, well, that's the same thing as what it says. It's a tree.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I get it. Like, trees are great and they give us life and stuff like that. But
it's kind of a sad story, that actually.
It is very tragic.
Yeah.
And then another one that they have problems with is the Babysitters Club.
Don't know it.
So now the Babysitters Club, I remember this came out from the 80s. I remember it was always in the school library and the girls always used to take it out because that's who it is targeted at. But the problem was the girls in the Babysitter Club were like 11 and 12 years old and they were looking after other kids. And people are saying, well, you shouldn't look after your kids. Let kids look after your kids. But again, it was the 80s.
My cousin used to babysit when she was 12 in the 80s.
Yeah.
That's just what happened.
That's just what you did.
Like,
I find nothing wrong with, like, that's just what we did in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are books. Those are books that people have a problem with. I don't really find them that problematic. So, that's what we're going to do. I want to end off, of course, it is the Olympics. And Dori and I are the synchronized champions for Rickrolling.
Yes.
Watch out for us in 2028. We'll Rickroll everyone. We'll start with the national anthems. Rickroll everyone. That'll be fantastic. So we are the world champions of Rickrolling, but there's also some other stuff happening at Olympics. And last week I mentioned to you, just in passing, Sport Billy. And you said you had never heard of him before.
Yeah.
So Sport Billy loved it. I think while I was thinking about it through the week, I was like, I do know Sport Billy showed on TV here, but Sport Billy was quite big in Europe. And fortunately, like I'd go overseas and go to Portugal, or I'd get comic books sent back from there. And there's always some or other Sport Billy thing. So he was probably bigger to me because I had that exposure. And then I used to have a little brown suitcase. Remember, we all used to have little brown suitcases?
Oh my God, yes.
I had one with Sport Billy in a Portugal kit of all things. Because he was like German.
Okay.
It was a German cartoon, but FIFA had him as a fair play ambassador. And that's what it's about. So he was kind of like representative of like, be a good sportsman, right?
Okay.
So the story of Sports Billy goes, it was originally broadcast in Germany and France, and it was about a boy. His name was Billy. He was from a planet called Olympus, which is the exact polar opposite of Earth. So Earth could never see Olympus because it's exactly opposite of us behind the sun. That's why we don't know exist.
Right.
Okay. And then so Billy comes from this this planet, and it's populated by godlike beings who believe in fairness. and he comes to make sure the world and sports and everybody's fair, because the villain is the Queen Vonda, and she's got a gnome-like henchman called Sipe. I don't actually remember him, and she hates sports because sports means there's fairness, and she hates it. So every episode was some or other plot about Billy. She would go to something, try to stop it, put an end to it, Billy would show up. What I loved about Billy.
Right.
So he had friends.
Okay.
He had a girlfriend called Lily.
Billy and Lily?
And a dog called Willie.
Oh, my God.
Billy, Lily, and Willie. Silly.
Right.
And I'm going to play for you the opening theme, the opening title.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to watch it, and while you watch it, I want you to describe what's going on. For the fair people, we'll put this on that Eddy Show SA Facebook. It's a treat, Dori.
Okay.
Hit play when you're ready and describe.
Okay, planets.
As you can hear the song.
Okay.
As you can hear the song playing in the background there.
I mean, it's very 80s style animation.
Yeah. Formation. The guys who did He-Man.
Yes.
Yes, you can see that.
Whoa, that coach has got a big mustache. Sport. Okay, so he takes a tiny car out of his bag and it becomes a big car.
That's the thing he did. That's the thing.
He's got a magic bag.
He's got a magic sack. That's I'm not being rude. That's what it said.
That's what they called it. And then this looks like an evil witch.
Vonda.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you seen his little traveling machine?
Like a weird little spaceship type thing.
It's a clock.
Oh, okay.
It's got 2 clocks, and he can travel through time to different sporting events. Sport Billy. Oh. Yeah, he's a hero from another planet. So the big thing about Sport Billy was his magical
bag,
his magical sack that he would take things out of and make bigger. Sporting equipment, balls that you would take out of it. I love that show.
Yes.
And I think in the spirit of the Olympics, we think of and remember Sports Billy.
Yes.
And his girlfriend Lily and his dog Willie.
And his magical sack.
And his magical sack
that
full of
make things big.
Various sized balls.
Right.
And it's fun. It's fun.
Yes.
I loved watching it. I loved Sport Billy. You could buy the bag, so much merchandise. You could buy a Sport Billy bag. Nothing in it.
What a disappointment.
Nothing became big. But anyway, we were children, and you had
imagination.
12-year-old babysitters. And I think that's just
it's just
what the world was like there. This has been that Eddy Show. Everything we spoke about the show. On the show today will be on that Eddy Show SA on Facebook, except the Piss Goblin. We will tell you where to find it, but we cannot link because we don't want to be shut down.
We don't even know if it's real.
It's
legend.
As of now, Thomas Anders has not replied to us.
Oh dear.
But as soon as he does,
he might be onto you by you saying, "How can I help?"
You think so?
That might have been him going, this person's catfishing my catfish.
They got me. Maybe he's getting me some crypto. I don't know.
Yeah.
But as soon as he responds, we will let you know. Don't forget, vote for us. You've heard something in the show that went, "God, I love that show. Those guys are so funny."
And so rude.
And so, damn it. We're rude. We're rude today.
Very.
Today was like a little bit, on the chin. But anyway, this has been that Eddy Show. I'm so glad you're recovering, Dori.
I'm so glad.
So glad. Thanks for joining me. Goodbye.
Bye.